Now imagine you had a budget of 70,000 rupees to buy a smartphone, and if you had to pick between an Android flagship and a base iPhone, which one would you pick? Now, if you pick the iPhone as your choice, I would urge you to stay tuned till the end of the video because you might need to rethink your answer. So yeah, these are the two options that are available under 70,000 rupees. Like, I mean, if you find a discount on the iPhone 16. And the question is, should you buy the Android flagship, that is the OnePlus 13, or the iPhone-based flagship, that is the iPhone 16? Let's find out in our detailed comparison between the two. Alright, if you're here for the first time, I'm Ershad, you're watching Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. I love the compact size of the iPhone 16 and the flat brushed aluminum feel of it. It's definitely handy and more comfortable compared to the larger OnePlus 13. But by using a denser silicon carbide battery inside, what I appreciate on the OnePlus 13 is that it is definitely thinner and lighter compared to its predecessor, which itself is a huge industrial design achievement in my opinion. And this despite packing more milliamp hours. But the one problem with the OnePlus 13 is that the vegan leather variant that we've been using is pretty slippery compared to the iPhone 16, which is grippier. Now both have drop protection. You get ceramic shield on the iPhone 16 and ceramic guard on the OnePlus 13. But the one thing that we noticed is that the ceramic shield on the iPhone is definitely way more prone to scratches compared to ceramic guard on the OnePlus 13. But at the same time, I feel like iPhone's glass protection could be more impact resistant. Another advantage on the OnePlus 13 is that after so many years of not giving IP rating, they now give IP68 plus IP69 rating, where iPhone only has IP68. Tell me something, do you think the iPhone will get IP69 rating in 2025? Go to the comments. Also, while you're on the way to the comments, there should be a subscribe button. If you haven't hit that already, go ahead and hit that. Now, functionality wise, there's one advantage on the OnePlus, that is the IR blaster, which is not available on the iPhone. And there's another advantage, which is more important to me at least, is that you get a Type-C Gen 3.2 port as opposed to Type-C 2.0 port on the iPhone. You also get a dual nano SIM card support on the OnePlus 13 with eSIM support, whereas on the iPhone it's only a single physical SIM plus one eSIM. And of course, OnePlus has the alert slider, but iPhone has not just the action button but also the camera control. If you want buttons, iPhone has it. I'm of course not a fan of the camera control button, it's terrible, but the action button, if you can use it properly, it could be useful. So it does have more functionality compared to the alert slider at least, which can only put it in ring, silent or vibrate. Now display is a clear win for OnePlus because it's bigger, it's brighter and it's just generally better. Imagine this, for the same price as the iPhone 16, you get double the resolution, double the refresh rate and double the brightness as well. Which to me is just crazy, right? Now the display of course is better on the OnePlus, but what about speakers? Well, I was surprised by the iPhone 16 speakers honestly because it's a smaller body, so I expected it to be not as loud as the OnePlus 13, but it gets equally loud and it offers more depth in the sound. Take a listen to it for yourself and let me know what you guys think. Haptic feedback, on the other hand, is fantastic on both, but it is very well implemented throughout the UI, the system UI in OxygenOS. So say for example, if you are scrolling through the app drawer and if you scroll through the alphabets, then you can feel the haptic feedback, or when you're changing the volume, you can feel it as well. And finally, with the OnePlus 13, you get ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner, whereas iPhone has a Face ID. Now both are equally good, I won't pick one or the other. Now this year with Snapdragon 888, you get even better performance than the A18 chip used inside the iPhone 16. In 3D Mark Wildlife stress test, even though the GPU stability is more on the iPhone, just take a look at the FPS on the OnePlus 13. It's insane. Not just that, in Geekbench, Apple's chipset is better at single-core performance, but at multi-core performance, the Snapdragon 888 beats it. In fact, Snapdragon 888's ray tracing performance is also superior compared to the iPhone 16. Plus, if you're buying the base variant of the OnePlus 13, you get higher RAM and storage, which is higher than even the iPhone 16. Now, if you keep the benchmarks aside and take a look at daily performance, even then, OnePlus 13's performance feels like butter on hot pan. It's so damn smooth. And that's largely because of the animation tuning that is done with OxygenOS 15, plus the fact that you get a proper 120Hz panel on this. I know that a lot of iPhone fans will be like, it's got 60Hz, it's got smoother animations than Android's 120Hz. Keep lying to yourselves. Seriously. Having said that, full marks to Apple for one thing is to get proper AAA ports for its iPhone. So you can play games like Assassin's Creed Mirage, Resident Evil Village, and Death Stranding on the iPhone, but you can't on the OnePlus 13. But that's not just the OnePlus problem, it's the entire Android ecosystem problem. Regardless, iPhone has more games. Now, battery is another big deal breaker on the iPhone 16. The OnePlus 13 has a massive 6000 mAh, like I said, silicon carbide battery. Now, when we compare the screen on times on both, the OnePlus 13 definitely has close to 2 to 3 hours extra compared to the iPhone 16. That's not it. The charging speeds are faster as well. 100 watt with the included 100 watt charger, you can charge the OnePlus 13 from 0 to 100 in 36-37 minutes, whereas the iPhone takes about 1 hour 20 minutes. In fact, you also get faster wireless charging speeds of 50 watt as opposed to 15 watt on the iPhone. You get support for Bluetooth 5.4 and NFC on both the phones. Now, both these phones also support Wi-Fi 7, but one advantage on the OnePlus 13 is that you get support for Bluetooth high-res codecs, which is LHDC and LDAC. Now, to talk about software experiences, I know that a lot of people buy the iPhone because they love iOS, and it's legit, right? I mean, iOS is great, but OxygenOS 15 this year is no slouch. The one advantage that iPhone has over OnePlus 13 is that it offers slightly longer software support as opposed to the OnePlus. But when you look at the features and the animation tuning and all of that, OnePlus does catch up, and sometimes it's even better, especially in something like animation tuning. Because what we noticed is that in parallel animations, it's much smoother in opening and closing apps and even opening and closing widgets. You also get live activities on both, but it's better on OnePlus because it has like stacked live activities, so you can have multiple live activities and open them in a stack. You get Flux themes with crazy AOD animations. You get AI features like AI Note Assist, AI Summary, AI Detail Boost, AI Reflection Eraser, and a lot of that. Yes, Apple also has Apple Intelligence with iPhone 16, where you get writing summary, where you get image generation, all of that. The bigger problem this year with iOS, especially with iOS 18, has been that the iPhone 16 is definitely buggier. OnePlus has been running fairly smooth with fewer bugs compared to the iPhone. Alright, finally it's time to talk about the cameras on both these phones, and there are 2 cameras on the rear of the iPhone 16 and there are 3 on the OnePlus 13, and you get a proper 3x telephoto camera, a periscope camera. Actually, you know what? The periscope camera is by default a telephoto camera. Yeah, the periscope camera is a subset of telephoto. Now, details captured by the primary camera are far superior on the iPhone thanks to the 24 megapixel output that it clicks by default. Even at 2x, the result is much better because of the 24 megapixel output, and the 2x quality is damn good compared to OnePlus 13. But when you zoom further, OnePlus definitely has an edge because of its dedicated 3x periscope lens. And if you zoom even further than that, like say for example at 6x or 10x, then OnePlus beats the iPhone. Now, while clicking images in harsh lighting conditions, the dynamic range is wider on the OnePlus. It lifts the shadows a little too much, but it makes it look attractive. Now, that's an unnatural look. iPhone's got a little more natural look. Skin tones, on the other hand, are industry leading on the iPhone. OnePlus tends to redden the skin slightly, which is something that we are not fans of. Color rendition, if you look at it, is completely different on both, especially with the iPhone. What you get are more neutral, more pleasing colors by default. With the OnePlus, you get more punchier, more attractive colors. But with the iPhone, if you want punchier, attractive colors, you can use photographic style, so that's the huge advantage on this. Now, while clicking images in low light, OnePlus tends to bring out the details from the dark spots and also cleans the noise in the image, but iPhone's image has more details even though there's more noise because of the 24MP outputs. And if you look at it, iPhone's night mode tuning seems to be slightly more proficient compared to OnePlus 13's. OnePlus sort of starts looking softer compared to the iPhone. Ultra-wide images, on the other hand, are simply better on OnePlus, whether it's daylight or low light, thanks to the superior 50MP ultra-wide angle lens as opposed to 12MP on the iPhone 16. But the color sense consistency is more accurate on the iPhone. OnePlus tends to change the white balance a little bit, which changes the colors, but that's not always. If it gets it right sometimes. 1x and 2x portraits are better on the iPhone, but the edge cutout on the OnePlus is a little more refined compared to iPhone, but iPhone's portraits also look fantastic. However, at 3x, you can see that OnePlus definitely captures superior portraits because of the dedicated lens. Selfies on the iPhone are definitely better than OnePlus, so whether we shot in daylight or in low light or HDR samples, all of it, we felt like iPhone's selfies were superior looking compared to OnePlus. Now, one of the problems with using a W prism periscope camera on the OnePlus 13 is that the focusing range is not too close, so the macros don't look as impressive as they look on the iPhone 16. So macro photography is better on iPhone 16. Videos are simply better on the iPhone, whether it's the primary or the ultra wide, because it's wider and more stabilized compared to OnePlus. OnePlus definitely has a little bit more details in the ultra wide angle 4K 60fps samples, but overall iPhone has better HDR, better Dolby Vision tuning. But when you look at zoom, I really think that OnePlus has done a fantastic job. But because with the 3x zoom at further zoom ranges, the quality of the zoom footage itself looks much better on the OnePlus. Also, I like the fact that the OnePlus 13 has improved the switching between lenses thing. It doesn't feel as janky as it used to before. So overall, if you look at it, if I had to pick one of these phones for camera performance itself, I feel like the iPhone 16 is more consistent and more reliable, plus the videography is definitely better than OnePlus. But what OnePlus does is that it offers versatility with the 3x periscope camera, so that is something that a lot of people will care about. And the kind of pictures that we're getting with the OnePlus 13 are not as offensive as they used to be in the past. So I think that it definitely does have a place for itself. Now, for folks who picked the iPhone as their choice of phone under Rs 70,000 at the start, after watching this video, are you now tempted to move over to the dark side? So here's the thing, the OnePlus 13 has a superior display, it's more powerful in terms of performance, you get better battery life, and you get faster charging speeds, whether it's wired or wireless charging, and you also get IP69 rating. Not that that's important, but USB Gen 3.2 is. However, between the two, I would still pick the iPhone 16 as my camera of choice. That doesn't mean that the OnePlus 13 is actually bad, because the OnePlus 13 is kinda good. It's actually the best cameras on a OnePlus phone yet. Plus, you get more versatility with the 3x periscope, which the iPhone does not have. So for people who value that, they can actually pick the OnePlus. So when you take all this into consideration, tell me, how is it possible for me to actually recommend the iPhone 16 over the OnePlus 13? Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.